Welcome to 3 Up, 3 Down. And once again this season, Out of the Park Baseball, the PC game is active, and we are going to jump into our own expansion franchise on Out of the Park Baseball. Now, if you've been with me before, you guys know I'm a huge fan of the Western Canadian Baseball League, the local summer league in my area here in Canada. I enjoy so much. So I want to feature the Western Canadian Baseball League in our expansion franchise for Out of the Park Baseball. So let's introduce you to the team. And in this episode, we are absolutely going to be creating our team and getting into the expansion draft. Let's go. So for this season, we are going to switch it up here in Out of the Park Baseball. Normally, I've been featuring the teams in the province of Saskatchewan, my home province in the Eastern Division of the WCBL. We are switching up this time, and we are looking at the teams in the Western Division in the province of Alberta, which means this year's team is going to be the Sylvan Lake Gulls. And Sylvan Lake Gulls made the final of the WCBL for the first time last year, so they are going to be our home featured team. And you can see it in the standings there. We are going to be part of the American League North Division with the Tigers, Twins, and Blue Jays. Now, as far as our minor league system looks like, our AAA team is going to be the powerhouse of the WCBL, the Okotoks Dogs. They will be our AAA team. AA is going to be the Lethbridge Bulls, a team that at one time was part of the Arizona Diamondback system. Our high A-ball team is going to be the Brooks Bombers. Our A-ball team is going to be the Fort McMurray Giants. And our final team, our rookie league team, is going to be the Energy City Cactus Rats. They are all part of the West Division, make up the entire West Division of the WCBL. And of course, we are ready for the expansion. I've also to show you the standings here very quickly, so you can see what else we've done. Playoff situation here, we have 4 divisions in the AL, 4 in the NL. The top team in each division makes the playoff, plus the next 2 wild cards. We've also over here, we've added the Orlando Dreamers to the National League South to balance it off. So we do indeed have 32 teams, which means when we jump into our expansion draft, we are going to be doing a straight draft, just so it's back and forth. 75 rounds. I'll not be showing you all these rounds, of course, but we are going to have the number 2 pick. By doing this, it also gives us number 1 pick in the amateur draft in June or July. We are going to go with 15 players protected. We are at the very beginning of the 2026 season. So guys like Kyle Tucker and Edwin Diaz are with the Dodgers. Bo Bichette is with the Mets, all these different things. Auto protect players with less than 3 years of service time, and a maximum of 5 picked players from a single team, which means every team will get maxed out because of this with the 75 player rule, 150 total from the 30 teams. So everybody's going to have 5 players selected from their team to make this work. So you can get a sense of the protection list here. To get a sense of the protection list there, you can see, let's use the Dodgers as an example. They are going to be protecting Brusdar Graterol, Will Smith, Evan Phillips, Kyle Tucker, Freddie Freeman, Dalton Rushing, Blake Snell, Tyler Glasgow, Mookie Betts, Edwin Diaz, Teoscar Hernandez, Shohei, Freeland, Pajes, Ryan, Sheehan, Ferris, DePaulo. So there is a bit of a mix of prospects along with full-term guys. Guys on the injured list, like a Blake Snell, maybe doesn't always get protected. He does in this situation, but you can see how things are working out for this draft. So without further ado, let's get into the expansion draft for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. The other thing I'm going to add in this expansion draft for the first time ever, I'm going to try it out this year, is the ability to trade draft picks. And I'm a big believer in the ability to trade draft picks, so it's something I wanted to add in here as well. So with the first overall pick going to Orlando, they are going to take, where do we have it here? Where is our draft log? They went with Andy Pajes from the Dodgers. So that's a very interesting twist to make it work here in terms of the protections. You can see there's some very good players and talented players actually because of the changes we had. In terms of overall the batters, I think there is some actual talents here for sure. Starting pitching is going to be very interesting. There is some talent here, although some guys with the big time contracts and injury concerns. as well as relievers. There's going to be a ton of relievers. And this is why I wanted to incorporate the ability to trade for draft picks, because I want to try and flip some of these guys at the deadline in different parts of different seasons to try and get ourselves more amateur players. So we are ready to go. And this is really, really cool that we can get Dylan Beavers, 46 overall, our 58 potential outfielder, 24 years old. We have never had this type of talent because of the 15. Normally we've done 18. This gives us a chance to build with a player like Dylan Beavers, who actually could stay on our team for a long period of time. Our second overall pick is going to be shortstop prospect Jet Williams. Very, very surprised that he's available here at this situation. These protection lists that going to 15 players has really changed things up for me. Actually going to be some young talent that I can finally take with these expansion drafts. We're probably the best team we've ever drafted in our 3 years of doing this. So we're going with Jet Williams to play shortstop. I can then add a catcher as well. I'm going to go with Harry Ford. I really, really like Harry Ford. I could go Jefferson Quero, but I think I prefer Harry Ford in this situation from the Nationals because they're going to be a tough team to find some players from. So we're going to add Harry Ford as our potential starting catcher as well, maybe starting at AAA to get things going. We're going to take an ace-type starting pitcher as well. We're going to take Bryce Miller from the Mariners. They can protect all those starters, so we're going to get one here. The thing is, he is injured for 5 weeks, but the way this sets up, we should have him back fairly close to the start of the season, partway in. So we're going to get Bryce Miller as our true ace for the Gulls. Next up, we're going to get our second starter from the New York Yankees. We're going to get a nice average size type player, someone who could really expand for us too. Will Warren is going to be our second starter. Maybe opens as our opening day starter. We will see what happens there. We're going to go the potential route with our next pick, center fielder Nelson Rada out of the out of the Angels system here. I think just a lot of talent, some speed, some defense in center, maybe not a ton of pop, but just a true center fielder. I think maybe could be our leadoff man, Nelson Rada. Now we're going to get from the Dodgers a middle infielder in Alex Freeland, who's actually started the year very well for the Dodgers. Some pop, some solid defense up the middle. I think Alex Freeland fits very well for what we're looking for. Needs some up the middle talent. I'm having a hard time finding some talented shortstop, so we're going to go with the Toronto Blue Jays, Ernie Clement. You guys know I absolutely love Ernie. Solid defense. Maybe a little for what we're trying to put together here, but Ernie Clement looks like he'll probably be our shortstop. So Ernie Clement is now a Sylvan Lake Gull. Now, I've mentioned we've had a chance to turn some players into draft picks this year, so I'm going to take a reliever here, Trevor McGill from the Milwaukee Brewers. Solid closer, 21 saves, 30 saves. You can see this number is there. I think this is a type of guy who you could probably flip at the deadline, get a bunch for him. So I think this is going to help our expansion draft expand even faster, getting Trevor McGill in our bullpen. I'm going to add another reliever, but this is on the younger end. Chase Dollander from the Rockies. Uber talented. Thought he was going to be a starter. They've used him in the bullpen this year. I think he's electric of the pen. So Chase Dollander is going to be kind of our future of the bullpen. So we'll add some pieces there. Same idea. Continue on the reliever thing. We're going to add Mick Abel, another young reliever, 24 years old. Again, we can flip these guys if they really develop quickly. If not, they can be pieces of our bullpen and really make it useful for us. We're going to pick up another Brewer, another young starter in Logan Henderson. Maybe he's ready for the major leagues. Maybe he's a step away, but very close. So I think it's going to help our rotation if we can get a little younger here and help our expansion draft goals. Team needs a little thump here, so we're going to add Isaac Paredes from Houston. I forgot Paredes is only 27 years old, so this kind of fits away nicely. 27-year-old pop corner infielder. Yes, there's a team option. Be a little bit more pricey, but we need a little bit of something here, and pop doesn't come cheap, so we're going to add Paredes. Another Astro, we're going to add Joey Loperfido, former Blue Jay. He really adds some talent across all the pieces of the outfield. Good eye, so we're going to add Loperfido to our outfield. Bullpen could use a lefty, a guy we can potentially flip in Gabe Spire. Maybe we have a talented team here. Maybe we don't. He's a guy we could potentially flip the bullpen and flip the deadline for some more picks. So Gabe Spire. You know we need a Canadian on this team, so Eric Sabrowski is going to be someone we add from Cleveland. 52 overall, 50 potential, 28 years old. Makes a lot of sense. Eric Sabrowski is going to be part of our pen in Sylvan Lake. Looking for a little talented catcher as well. We're going to go Logan O'Hoppe. He's got some pop. He develops fairly well in these particular out of the park baseball simulations we've done. So we'll see if he can develop well for us. Logan O'Hoppe is kind of our second catcher. We're going to take a little chance on a true first baseman in Ryan Mountcastle. I like Mountcastle. Don't know if I love the contract for what we're doing, but there's a team option for the second season, so we don't have to keep him around if we don't want. But Ryan Mountcastle will fit that first base DH mold for us. Looking at a little more shortstop talent, Michael Arroyo is going to be added to probably our minor league system. Another middle infielder from Detroit. Just looking to add some pieces. We don't really have a true shortstop yet in our system. But that's not the biggest problem in the world. How about let's add some more power potential, another outfielder. How about the password? I always forget how to say it. Justin Garcia. Garcia is known as the password in baseball from the now Pittsburgh Pirates. He was formerly with Boston. We're going to add Garcia to our outfield mix, maybe as a little bit of a power threat and a chance to develop with that 50 potential. Kind of look for a little bit of speed, a little bit of average, maybe a true center fielder, maybe a right fielder. But how about Jung-Hoo Lee? I love Jung-Hoo Lee. How about a little more defense and power potential with Jesus Sanchez with the Jays? I think Jesus Sanchez fits that DH mold a little bit as well. So we're going to add Sanchez to our outfield mix. Back to potential relievers, Wellington Herrera. This is more of a project, 39 overall, 54 potential, only 21 years old. Same thing with Peyton Paulette from Cleveland. Yes, Cleveland's organization, 43 overall, 52 potential here. So continue to add some potential and mix into our bullpen. And going to continue to do so, but this one likely fits our bullpen from the Blue Jays. Braden Fisher, who's done so well with the Blue Jays this year, has been outstanding. We're going to add him to our bullpen. Probably does make the major league roster that way. And a lefty reliever here now, Brandon Garcia. Add another lefty, potential major league reliever. And that's getting us close to, indeed, our 25 in our organization. Looking at 26 here soon. We have added 2 catchers, a first baseman DH, 2 second, 3 thirds, 3 left fielders, a center fielder, right fielder, 5 starters, and 7 relievers. Now, we haven't had a shortstop, but we expect Ernie Clement, who's listed as a second baseman, to be that. So we have reaching kind of that cap on our major league roster. Just looking to see if there's anybody who might make some sense for us as well. And then I will get you guys hit up with the rest of our roster once we're finished the draft. So there we have finished the draft. The expansion draft has been set up. It'll likely change some of the minor leagues. So they have to sign a bunch of minor league free agents to fill out some things here. But our starters, and looks like in the rotation, we've got Ryan Weathers as our starting A's, Will Warren, Logan Henderson, Mick Abel, and Jadixon Paez as going to be our starters. And then in the bullpen, Trevor Megill, Braden Fisher, Gabe Spire as our back end of the bullpen, Eric Sabrowski, Peyton Paulette, Dylan Ross as our middle guys, Carson Palmquist and Chase Dollander as our long relievers. I would probably actually prefer Chase Dollander to be a starter at this time. But for right now, he's going to stay in the long man of the bullpen because Bryce Miller is going to be coming back and potentially he's going to be back very soon after opening day. As far as our lineups go, there you see it. I picked up Denzel Clark late. He's going to be our center fielder, so I really like adding Denzel Clark, the Canadian. Jesus Sanchez in right, Joey Loperfido in left, Ryan Mountcastle at first. Our third baseman is going to be Alex Freeland. At second base is going to be Ernie Clement. Isaac Paredes is going to be our DH. Otto Lopez, I found late further down here, the Canadian, actually true Canadian, not Dominican. He is Canadian. We have claimed him for the WBC. And then Harry Ford is going to be our starting catcher. And then versus lefties, you can see Denzel Clark, Ernie Clement, Loperfido, Ohapi, Mountcastle, Sanchez, Paredes, Lopez, and Freeland. So a little bit of a split in the catcher duties, which I am perfectly okay with that way. In terms of AAA, we're still going to be filling out some of the roster, but Nelson Rada, Edwin Arroyo, Gabriel Gonzalez, Xavier Isaac, Rafael Flores Jr., Adele Amador, Jet Williams, Joshua Baez, and Michael Arroyo. You've got some nice potential down here in AAA. As far as the pitching staff, we're going to have to fill some of this out with some minor league relievers, but we do have a nice little piece there. I think Mason Fluharty down there because the potential guy can be called up and fill in as well, especially once we have some pieces back in our bullpen that way. But there you have it. There is going to be our setup for our Sylvan Lake Gulls. And we are going to be putting together here our coaching staff here in a minute. And I'll show you all that once I've got it finished off camera. So to be the first ever manager of the Sylvan Lake Gulls, we are going to bring in someone I consider a legend in the game. We're going to bring in Ron Washington. He definitely favors the prospects and the hitting. I think that really fits what we want to do as a team. We want to steal some base, maybe not as aggressive stealing bases, but the hit and run, we want to put pressure on it. So, and maybe more importantly, he doesn't want to hire the hitting coach or the pitching coach. That allows us to do this as well. So Ron Washington, hopefully we're going to offer him a contract. We love the relationship potential, average relationship, but look at the sample lineup. We like what is the potential there. I think Ron Washington needs to be the guy for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. And hey, if he sticks around for 4 years, what an offer that would be. And to be our assistant GM, we are going to bring a Canadian in Farhan Zaidi. I think he's going to fit well with our personality here. Maybe he favors veterans more than the prospects, but definitely fits what we're kind of looking for here in Sylvan Lake. So we finally got our rosters filled in here. We're also going to show you our front office and our management team to go along with Ron Washington. Farhan Zaidi is our assistant GM. We have the legendary Matt Stairs, Canadian, as our hitting coach. Bo Jackson is our first base coach. We have some really, really impressive pieces, I think, along the way. We still have to find one more pitching coach for our AA team. Let's do that quick. As long as they can teach pitching, we are good with that. Bruce Billings will do just fine at AA. To fill that in for us and fill in our prospect pipeline as well, checking that out. We can see, actually, we want to go here, our player development. And we can see we've got some nice pieces in here. Dylan Beavers is a nice piece. Nelson Rada, Gabriel Gonzalez. Our AAA team actually at Okotoks, I think, is going to be fairly strong. We are going to fit a fair bit of money into the draft and player development and continue to push that piece. You can start to see we've actually had games already happening in the minor league level. Okotoks, the AAA Okotoks Dogs are already 7-2. Xavier Isaac is going off 4 home runs, 7 bombs. Gabriel Gonzalez is going off 4 home runs, 4 bombs, 9 RBI. We got some guys going off. We've had some couple nice starts in there and some solid bullpen pieces. They've got a decent team, and see the lineup. You can see some pretty solid potentials there. So I really like what we've got at AAA. That's not to counteract what we have in the major leagues. We've got some serious potential in the bullpen. When you look at our lineup, Dylan Beavers, Alex Freeland, Harry Ford, Isak Pretty, there's some potential here in the lineup as well. So I don't think this is a weak team by any stretch. Our bullpen is very strong. Our rotation is probably our weakest point when you look at our starters here in terms of their overalls, 41 or 51, 51, 49, 48, 42. We do have Bryce Miller coming back, which will really help us as well. And we have quite a young team to go along with this. So hopefully we can build some up and maybe trade for some draft picks down the future. We also have the #1 pick in the amateur draft come June. So you'll be seeing that in a video, of course, as well. As far as our owner, what are we expecting? They do not want us to suck completely. We'll do our best. We need to find a top 20 prospect. We should be able to do that because we have the #1 overall pick. And Nelson Rod is actually getting close there at number 47. We want to build a top 6 minor league system. We're currently 25th. Of course, we started as 31st. We're set up fairly well with that. I think hopefully make some trades and pick up some draft picks, and that should be able to increase that pretty quickly. Maybe we add a couple other first-round picks as well. And we're going to try to keep building up our team in order to reach the playoffs. So, of course, that's a long-term goal. Our owner, fairly lenient, generous. I like the generous. Hands off. He's all about winning. A $220 million budget, tied for 17th league, middle of the pack. I like that. Our player payroll this season, only $53 million. Total money available, $37 million, that means, and $70 million for extensions. I really, really like that. As far as the future and what we can expect in terms of salaries, currently $49.6 million to our team. This will be a change a little bit as we get in opening day, but 68.7, 75.7. So it's very nice. We'll see what these guys do as they hit arbitration. Some of the pieces, we got some team options here with Paredes and Mountcastle, as well as Bryce Miller. So there are some pieces along the way to help us with this, to kind of shape the team how we want to. So there you have it, guys. There is the building of the Sylvan Lake Gulls. If you guys like this kind of content, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Our next video, of course, is going to be the playing of opening day, where we are going to be going to Texas to take on the Rangers on opening day. Greatly appreciate all your guys' support. Until next time, take care, everyone.